The humid air of Thailand's Chang International Circuit didn't just carry the scent of spent fuel, it carried the weight of a manufacturer's desperate prayer. As day 2 of the Bariram test dawned, the Yamaha garage was no longer a place of quiet observation, but a theater of high-stakes surgery. Toprak Razgatlioglu arrived at the track with a piercing focus, his eyes betraying the frustration of a Sepang shakedown that had failed to meet the hype. This wasn't just another practice session, it was the final stand before the March 1st season opener. The world watched as the Turkish Phantom suited up, knowing that the safe laps of yesterday were officially over. The atmosphere was electric, charged with the knowledge that Yamaha was about to pull back the curtain on a transformation months in the making. But as the first engine fire-up echoed through the pit lane, it became clear that the machine Toprak was about to mount was not the same one he had ridden just 24 hours prior. The first shock to the paddock came from the visual and auditory shift of the Yamaha V4, which appeared in a revised, blacked Zen-out configuration. Reports from the pit wall suggested that Yamaha's engineers had worked through the night to implement major changes to the engine's internal rotating mass. The engine note was no longer a steady drone. It had become a sharp, aggressive snarl that demanded attention. This was the revealed heart of Yamaha's 2026 Gamble, a power unit designed to finally close the gap on the Marquez brothers. As Toprak rolled out for his first stint, the speed traps immediately began to glow with numbers that Yamaha hadn't seen in years. The comfortable bike of the early tests had been replaced by a Predator, a machine that finally looked capable of hunting. Yet, with this newfound aggression came a technical consequence that threatened to derail the entire morning session. As the top speeds climbed, a new conflict emerged between the raw power of the V4 and the ME's legendary chassis geometry. Toprak's signature style violent, late braking that lifts the rear wheel off the tarmac, was suddenly at odds with the way the new engine delivered its torque. The more power the V4 produced, the more it pushed the front Michelin tire into a zone of thermal instability. Watching from the sidelines, paddock veterans noted that Toprak was fighting the bike at every apex, his body language suggesting a man trying to tame a bucking horse. The secret V4 was providing the speed Yamaha had begged for, but it was robbing Toprak of the precision that made him a world champion. He was locked in a high-speed chess match with his own machine, trying to find where the power ended and the control began. The tension in the garage was thick, as the team realized that speed without stability is just a faster way to crash. By midday, a psychological crisis began to settle over the Pramac garage as the lap times hit a stubborn plateau. Despite the engine updates, Toprak was consistently hitting a wall in the high 1 minute 30-second bracket, unable to break into the record, breaking territory occupied by Alex Marquez. The telemetry showed that while the bike was a rocket on the straights, it was losing vital milliseconds in the transition from upright to full lean. Every time Toprak tried to force the issue, the front end would protest, sending a shiver through the entire technical crew. If the major changes to the engine didn't translate into a qualifying style lap time, the momentum for the season opener would be shattered. Massimo Miragalli was seen huddled with the data engineers, his expression a mask of calculation and concern. They were staring at a puzzle that seemed to have a missing piece, and time was rapidly running out before the sun set on day 2. Adding to the pressure was the lingering shadow of the FIM's recent investigation into Yamaha's engine safety protocols. While the team had been cleared to continue, the restrictions placed on certain internal components meant the engineers were walking a tightrope between performance and legality. Rumors suggested that the major changes revealed today were a direct response to those safety concerns, a way to reclaim power while staying within the FIM's new 2026 durability mandates. This meant that Toprak wasn't just testing a new engine, he was testing a legal compromise. The mystery of what was truly inside that black casing-fueled paddock gossip, with rivals questioning if Yamaha had found a loophole in the torque management software. The pressure of the investigation had forced Yamaha into a corner, and their only way out was to prove the bike's worth on the stopwatch. But just as the critics began to vocalize their doubts, the final hour of testing arrived. The twist that silenced the paddock came in the dying light of the afternoon session. Rather than chasing engine maps, the team made a radical shift in the swing arm pivot and the engine braking software's entry map. Suddenly, the MEV stopped fighting Toprak and started working with him. He was seen diving into turn 1 with a ferocity that hadn't been seen since his days on the superbike. The bike stayed settled, the rear tire tracked perfectly, and for the first time, Toprak was able to carry the high corner speed of the old inline V4 while utilizing the VC's punch on exit. The telemetry didn't just show a slight improvement. It showed a total metamorphosis of the bike's character. In a single stint, the frustration on Toprak's face vanished, replaced by the cold, predator-like focus of a champion who had finally found his weapon. The 129 AM wall didn't just crack, it was about to be obliterated. The fallout of Toprak's late session surge was felt instantly in the neighboring garages. Both Alex and Marc Marquez were seen monitoring the timing screens with visible intensity as Toprak's sectors began to turn purple. The secret V was no longer a theoretical threat. It was a tangible reality that was now breathing down their necks. The narrative of the 2026 season was shifting in real time from a Marquez-dominated year to a potential three-way war. Paddock interpretation suggested that Yamaha had managed to bridge a 6-month development gap in a matter of hours. The major changes had provided the leverage Toprak needed to stop being a student and start being a threat. The tension between the camps was a precursor to the March 1st opener, a silent acknowledgement that the hierarchy of MotoGP was being rewritten under the Thai sun. Yet, one question remained: could Toprak's body hold up to the incredible physical load of this new machine? Behind the record-breaking pace lies a brutal physical reality that Toprak is only now starting to admit. The MEV demands a level of core strength and forearm endurance that is significantly higher than his previous championship Zan-winning bikes. After his late Zan session flyer, Toprak was seen leaning heavily on his fuel tank, his hands trembling slightly from the effort of managing the V-Staw's torque. Mirgali's new boyfriend analogy had taken a dark turn. The bike was a jealous partner, demanding every ounce of Toprak's energy. The mystery for the team is now a biological one. Can they tune the electronics to be human-friendly without sacrificing the speed that put them at the top of the charts? The 2026 season is becoming a test of biological limits as much as mechanical ones. As Toprak debriefed with his team, the exhaustion in his eyes was a stark reminder of the price of speed. As the data from Day 2 is uploaded to the servers in Iwata, the roadmap to the season opener has become crystal clear. The major changes to the engine have validated Yamaha's V10 gamble, but they have also highlighted the thin margin of error the team is working with. The shakedown frustrations have been replaced by a calculated confidence, but the team knows that testing pace and race distance consistency are two different animals. The focus for the final day of the barium test will be a full race simulation, 20 and 6 laps of sustained aggression to see if the VC and the Michelin tires can survive the Thai heat. The secret is out, the engine is revealed, and the grid knows that Toprak is no longer just adapting, he is coming for the crown. The roadmap is set, the targets are locked, but the final variable is the one thing no engineer can control. As the lights go out on the Chang International Circuit at the end of Day 2, the MotoGP world stands on the precipice of a new era. Yamaha's V4 metamorphosis has proven that the Japanese giants are no longer sleeping. They are awake, and they are hungry. Toprak Razgatlioglu has successfully navigated the culture shock of his debut, transforming a disappointing shakedown into a record-breaking threat. The secret VC is now the most talked Zan-about engine in the paddock, a black casing that hides the potential to end years of European dominance. The March 1st season opener in Barium is no longer just a race, it is a coronation or a collision course. Everyone is in shock, the major changes are real, and the Turkish champion has finally found his rhythm. The data is locked, the secrets are laid bare, and for Toprak, the time for testing is over. The time for war is about to begin.